All right, ladies and gentlemen. Apologies for the lateness. I was in the middle of a family discussion, and it was a in-depth one, so had to just listen to it and engage in it. But it's time for more Fire Force. Holster, yeah, I know you were talking about how originally when I put this stream up, I had the wrong thumbnail on it, but I noticed it this morning when I woke up, so I corrected it, so it's all good. Sorry for pointing it out. Don't worry, you're perfectly all right. Just didn't want to disrupt the fun from last night's stream. That wouldn't have ruined any fun. It would have just been something I had to correct. It's all fine. It's all good. I don't get swept up with things like that, so it wouldn't have bothered me. I'd rather you guys point out things that I need to correct than keep it to yourselves and I don't find out until the last minute. So it's all good. But let's get started, shall we? Yo, peoples! You caught me right before I'm about to take a shower because I'm gonna take another shower before right when I'm done reading this volume. Hold on. Sorry. Had some extra family stuff going on in the background, but yo, peoples! Kyushu92 here, and welcome back to yet another live reading of Fire Force. Today, we're going to be checking out volume 24 of the series titled The Great Cataclysm Begins. So, we got 10 more volumes, which will end on January 10th, no less. And my thing is, this volume says the Great Cataclysm begins with this volume. But I got 10 more volumes to go. So, let's just see what we're getting into with this. Summary! With the help of Moonlight Mask, actually Company 7's Captain Shinmon, Company 8 narrowly escaped the Fuchu Penitentiary. Although they have been branded as traitors to the Empire, some fellow fire soldiers still believe in Company 8 and take their return as a cue to jump into action themselves. Company 5's Captain Hibana goes to the ruins of the convent where she grew up and learns that Sister Sumire was doing experiments on children to find pillars for the next great cataclysm. Meanwhile, in an attempt to raise Arthur's spirits after the loss of Excalibur, Vulcan comes to him with a quest to find Orichalcum, the material needed to make the Holy Sword. They go to the Nether, where they find pre-cataclysm technology and obtain a space rocket fairing. Is the Holy Sword's return at hand? So, the chapters we have is chapter 205 all the way down to 213. Let's begin, as we are in one of the... Hold on. Yoda couldn't join. He said he misses you. Aw, it's all good. Whenever Yoda can show up, whenever Yoda is able to show up, that's fine. It's all good. Nani? Moonlight Mask was Benimaru? Le gasp! What a twist! But we begin with chapter 205. And it's Halmia who's up against the wall while we have Yona going, "Well done, Halmia."
Shut it. You don't have to say it. I know.
Now is the age of Pi's decoding. The pillars are assembled. The time is near. The Great Cataclysm. Chapter 205, The Holy Sword Reborn. And we also got reintroduced to Arthur's parents, who have been living in the Nether, apparently this whole time, and had more kids, and they just left Arthur. But here, we are back at Asakusa, and Captain Obi speaking to Conro. If it's not one thing, it's another. I'm sorry we keep imposing. Now we're even borrowing your smithy. I heard you're making a new sword for Arthur, and your new engineer Vulcan is forging it. Arthur's a weird kid. The more excited he gets, the more powerful he gets. And it shows Vulcan working with this rocket fairing to make it into a new sword for Arthur. I should have known this wouldn't be hot enough to melt a fairing. I'll have to use the thermite process to make up the difference. For a kid, you're pretty good at this. And it shows you drinking some water, because They finally got out of the nether, apparently.
Oh man, I am wiped out. Where'd Arthur's family go?
They haven't been to the surface in ages, so they went sightseeing.
The Boyle family sure are free spirits.
Okay, it's ready. Now all we have to do is pour the metal in the mold.
I shall watch!
And Arthur's getting excited. And then it shows Vulcan. My dad is also at the house today because he has the whole week off. So, seeing him walk into the room while I'm working, it's nice. But we have Arthur watching Vulcan pour metal into this molding, with Lisa going,
"Oh, this really is exciting!"
And then we have you going,
"The rocket becomes a sword at last!"
And then it shows Arthur, who is way too close to the metal being poured. This is molten metal, okay? It's not something you should allow to get on your skin, let alone near your face. So, Arthur is just very dangerously close to it while Hugh's pulling on him.
"Oh, be careful! I know you're a 3rd gen, but that's too hot even for you!"
Then we have Vulcan. It won't be as strong as the original aluminum alloy, but you gotta admit there's something magical about having a sword made out of a rocket.
Our hard work has paid off.
And Arthur is just brimming with happiness because he's getting a new sword made for him. Pardon me, because I had a big sandwich too.
I've never seen Arthur so happy.
And then we have Arthur raising his hand going, "Into my hand! Holy sword!" And then we have you smiling, Vulcan smiling, and even Lisa kind of laughing to herself. Then we have Vulcan sitting by himself outside of the smithy, and Captain Obi walks up. "You've been working hard. Here, have some cider. From Asakusa Cider." "Thanks. Something fizzy sounds perfect." And then he's just drinking. And then Obi continues. "I hear the sword's almost done, but I understand there were some twists and turns along the way." "Well, it's Arthur. You never know what's going to happen with him. But the metal we scored is truly the best. Things turned out better than planned." "Was it hard babysitting Arthur?" "Nah, it was like getting another stupid kid brother. I had fun." "I'm glad to hear it. We need Arthur's powers as much as we need your technical expertise. He may be an idiot, but he's never once let us down. He always rises to the occasion. The fighting is going to start again soon, isn't it?" "Yes, we have no time to waste. Captain Hibana of Company 5 gave us some intel about the cause of SHC, and about the 7th Pillar, Sister Sumire. The Evangelist wants to cause another great cataclysm, and if they're getting close to doing it, then we need to get ready for a showdown." "Alright, my break's over," as Vulcan finishes the little cider that he got. "After all, once the fighting starts, all I can do is sit and watch from the sidelines." Then it shows Vulcan continuously working on Arthur's sword.
Work on the scabbard is just about done. And I finished the belt for him to hang it from."
"Okay, we're in the final stretch." And then it just shows more and more work from Vulcan, or at least the sound effects of it all. Then it's a new day.
"Arthur, hurry! Hurry! Come on, this way, Arthur!"
"I promise you, it was worth the wait." And then we see Arthur's brand new sword. And it looks even better than what he had before. What he had before was just the hilt and guard. And then he could just use it that way. But now we have like an actual sword and an actual scabbard. And it's very nice looking. Almost reminds me of the Dawnbreaker sword from Skyrim. Except much longer. And without, Meridia's annoying voice going, "A new hand touches the beacon." But none of that. And he's looking at it, and he's feeling the sword. And he's running his hands across it, feeling its material going, "It's..." And then Vulcan, "Arthur, take this too." "What is it?" "A star ring, made from the shavings of a star fragment. Wear it around your neck, and when the time comes, put it on your finger." And then Arthur's looking as he looks at his sword. "Thank you, Vulcan. I swear on this sword, No one shall ever defeat me again! I don't doubt it, Night King. Then we cut back to Arthur's home, and there's another note. I enjoyed seeing the surface again after my long absence. Now we're off again on another adventure, on another journey. Toodles, signed Father. Well, well. And then we have Maki.
Arthur, I heard you found your parents. That's great. What? Again? Arthur, are you okay?
And then Arthur is silent until Maki notices that he's smiling. As she looked upon the profile of this young man, so oblivious to the reality that his parents had abandoned him a second time, Maki felt that here was the Night King who would save this planet, now that the true holy sword was in his hands. Okay, so, just to reiterate, his family did in fact abandon him. They just called it going off on an adventure. Imagine if your parent did that in life today. We're going on an adventure for many years, but we're really just like, yeah, you're good now. We're just gonna leave. And that kid is just fending for themselves all the while. And now they done left the man again. This family. But that's the end of chapter 205. Onwards to 206. Connection. And we're here back in Asakusa, and Shinra's awake. We can do the cleaning, boss. No need. Oh wait, we can do the cleaning, boss. No need. And then it's Shinra, and then Conro enters.
Lieutenant Conro.
You're rotting away in here. I thought you were recovered. Get out and help me, and get out and let me clean.
You've done an Adola link, right? Do you remember how you did it? The time for waiting is over. Let's take the fight to Adola!
And then it shows Shinra on his back while Benimaru's standing over him. See, you're still all tensed up inside. Stretch out your limbs and melt into the earth.
Sir? I asked Lieutenant Conroe how to do an Adola link.
Yeah, he told me. You're planning on busting some heads in Adola, right?
And you know how to do that, Captain Shinmon?
Not a clue.
Huh? Then what are we doing? More Asakusa love?
I don't know anything about Adola, but it doesn't mean I don't know a way to get there.
You know a way?
You remember the kata, the hand forms I taught you?
You mean the Tora Hishigi I use for the rapid?
That kata makes you stronger by controlling the energy in your feet. But there's more energy in your body than just your feet. You have it everywhere.
So, where are we focusing on now?
The third eye. If you can open that, it'll connect you to the universe in higher dimensions. That's what I hear anyway. Human beings have 7 energy gateways along their spine. The third eye is supposed to awaken when you open the 6th gateway, the one between your eyebrows. From what I've heard, if you open the third eye and connect to a higher plane, and then open the 7th gateway on the top of your head, it'll take you to the throne of the gods. Frankly, it sounds like bull to me, because I don't believe in gods. But if this evangelist claims to be a god, and you've seen Adola, then it's worth giving it a shot. And since you've mastered the hysterical strength of the fight-or-flight response, maybe you'll be able to pull it off.
If I can awaken my third eye, I can connect to a higher plane. If I connect to Adola, I can find the evangelist and my mom. So how do I open the gateway?
And he also thinks of his brother Sho. You ready? First, release all the tension in your body. Feel the earth with the palms of your hands. Close your eyes. Focus your mind. Become one with the earth and calm yourself. I've never felt anything doing this, so I always just fell asleep.
Feel the earth. Focus my mind. Become one. And sleep.
The voice acting is so good. Well, thank you, Alessio. It's one of the prides of my channel.
Feel the earth. Focus my mind. Become one. And sleep.
And then Shinra just goes to sleep. No, don't sleep, Chucklehead. The old boss made me do this back in the day. As somebody with no faith, I just took it as an opportunity for a nice nap. But you?
Of course you don't have faith. Other people have faith in you. They think of you as a god, the destroyer of Asakusa. I believe in you too, Captain Shinmon.
You're talking rubbish, Squirt. Keep trying. I doubt you'll get much more than a nice nap, though.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna go play some bets. And then Shinra starts trying to, release some tension, but he also starts to sleep as well.
The first time I linked with the first pillar was in a dream, too. Who is Amaterasu, anyway? She looks so much like Sister Iris. Could she be a doppelganger?
And as we see the first pillar, we also see the similarities between the first pillar's face and Sister Iris's face. Then we have Hinawa with Captain Obi. Shobotai, we are on chapter 206 of volume 24. But then we have Hinawa with Captain Obi. What do we do now, sir? According to Captain Hibana's report, the Great Cataclysm is going to happen soon. Vulcan is making us some new weapons. I don't know much. I don't know how much help we can get from the other companies. But our job is to rally whatever troops we can before the enemy is ready to carry out their plans. Then we'd better hurry. I hope Shinra's training goes as well as Arthur's power-up. Then it cuts to night, while everyone is sleeping. And Vulcan is sitting up because even though Arthur is in the same room with him, Shinra is not there. And then Arthur says, Shinra said he's sleeping outside. Outside? And then Shinra's just outside. Someone left the man cave door open again. But Shinra's sleeping outside, and we just see the night sky, and he's sleeping. Then we see the flames of Adola, and then the flames get even higher. And then he's in this world of Adola, and Sho is there as well.
Sho!
Who are you, knave?
I found you!
And then it shows Sho inside one of the evangelist temples, like the same place where he and Shinra were fighting. I guess they fixed the place because now everything's all better looking. My brother. And that's the end of chapter 206. Onwards to 207. Escape. Because Shinra has connected to Sho. And then Sho's just sitting there going, was that an Adola link? And he sees Shinra. My brother. And then all the memories start flooding into his mind. What happened after that? I don't remember anything. Haumia. Yes. We will cause a great cataclysm. Turn this planet into a world of flame once more. That is our mission. For that purpose alone, But I met my brother, my family. I felt a warmth unlike any I'd felt before. A warmth different from the flames that burn, melt, and devour all things. What have I? And then Sho gets up. I must go. I must see my brother again. And as he's walking, here's my thing. We got all... Anyone else wonder how the evangelists wear the shoes that they do and they're walking fine? Their shoes are thinner than the feet of normal people. It's like cylindrical shaped. It's not shaped like an actual foot outwards like that. It's just the boots that they wear is just straight down in the ground. Like what is the proper thing to call it? Like tubes. How are they walking? Where are their feet? How are they walking fine? But we see Sho with these ridiculous evangelist shoes. I've never said this the entire time I've seen them, but anyone who wears these shoes of the evangelist, I question how they wear them in the first place. Like, are they feet just straight down in it and they're just walking on their tiptoes the whole time? Is everyone shorter than they actually are when they take these shoes off? I'm just wondering, how is that practical? Are your feet just crushed up in it? Like just balled up like a knot in these shoes? How do these shoes work? Not the question I should be asking right now, but I'm just wondering. But Sho's walking as he goes, I cannot let Halmia or the Guardians suspect. And then it's Inca.
Sho! Sup?
And Sho doesn't say anything.
Grumpy as usual, I see.
Where's Halmia?
Holed up in that room again.
This one can see the future. She may realize I'm up to something. I'd rather not tarry. I shall go elsewhere. Not as stupid as Joker's old folk who did messed up things to him. No, I'm just talking about the shoes in general. I shall go elsewhere. But it's good to learn that Halmia is occupied. Now could be my chance to escape. Then we have Sister Sumire.
Hello, third pillar Sho.
Sister Sumire.
Oh? Has something changed a bit about you?
Why would you ask me that? I'd rather not tarry with this woman. I shall go elsewhere. And then he runs right past Charon. Oh? Sho! Still as puny as ever, I see. Why must I come upon so many people when I wish to be alone? I must leave the Nether. Charon is Halmia's guardian. If he discovers my intentions, there will be trouble. I'd rather not tarry. I shall go elsewhere. Commander, who is it this time? And it's Arrow. I figured it was going to be Arrow. Arrow, what do you want? The final mass before the Great Cataclysm is about to begin. Where are you going? Of course. So that is why there are so many people about. Is something the matter? And Sho doesn't say anything, but we just get his inner thoughts. Something indeed may be the matter. I am following a sudden impulse to see my brother. But what will I do when I find him? Will he give me a purpose beyond the mission I've been assigned? Perhaps I am merely feeling cheerful because the Adola link freed me from the chains that had bound me. Even should I gain my freedom, what would I do with it? You will be late for Mass. Let's go. And then it shows Sho as his hand is right next to his sword. And then Sho goes, No. My brother came to the Nether for me. I have no particular need to see my brother. Still, I cannot ignore this feeling. As he takes out his sword and holds his sword towards the back of Arrow. Yo! Rebellion! Take me outside. Commander? Deny me and I will strike you down. And then they're just in the hallway by themselves. Commander, I am your guardian. I would never betray you. What business do you have on the surface? I will protect you wherever you wish to go. No need. Why are you so devoted to me anyway? There is no why. I never doubt. I do it because it is my mission. What if I told you that mission was no longer necessary? Arrow's no different than I. Everything she does is for her mission. She doesn't know how to act any other way. The Evangelist has manipulated humankind's ideologies and faiths for centuries. One might say that humans are the Evangelist's well-trained pets. You and I have so far lived our lives for the sake of the mission the Evangelist gave us, but I have found another course of action. You too had best abandon this nonsense and seek out your own desires. My mission is not nonsense? My mission is not nonsense. Oh wait, she doesn't ask a question, she says, my mission is not nonsense. How is it not nonsense? Accomplishing my mission is my desire. As she kneels before Sho. Your safety is my joy. Serving you makes my life worth living. It is everything to me. If I were to abandon that mission, my life would no longer have purpose. My life is an arrow fired to protect you.
and an arrow, once loosed, can never be called back.
And then Sho just stands there with like a very slight blush, like this a flustered look. And then it shows that they left the Nether. Sho and Arrow are gone.
We have reached the surface. Wherever you go, I will go with you.
And then Sho goes,
No need.
and as he's making his way up the stairs by himself, Arrow is steadily right behind him.
What I mean to say is, do not follow me. Then how much distance shall I maintain between us? I want you so far away I cannot see you. I cannot use my arrows to protect you at that distance. Do not protect me. I have no need of your arrows. Then I shall protect you from the greatest extent of my firing range.
And then we have Sho, who's just getting kind of tired of arrows. It's like she doesn't let up. She's all like, I'm gonna follow you,
But you don't need to follow me.
then I shall follow you at the maximum range my arrows can reach.
Have it your way. Yes, Commander.
As Arrow puts her like face flap down, her head flap down, headpiece flap down, and it shows Sho and Arrow preparing to leave. Then we have other evangelists. Light up the lost souls, scorch the earth, turn this planet into a flaming sun, a throne of God. Continue in the evangelist's revealed path, Latom. Then it shows Haumea, Inca, and Sumire. And then it has Haumea.
For crying out loud, why are you people so useless? My little Shota has escaped. Sho escaped?
My apologies. I will send out a search party.
Forget it. Let him do what he wants until the world ends. We have all 8 pillars. It doesn't matter where each is. Nothing can stop the great cataclysm now.
As it shows Sho and Arrow leaving. And that's the end of chapter 207. Onwards to 208. Apocalypse Assembly. And it shows Haumea inside this great large room with a pretty much an army of whiteclad in there. And you also see Charon in the distance because he's the only dude with white hair and a blindfold over his eyes. And then we have Haumea.
By order of the evangelists, Mass will now begin.
And then they start speaking and they start chanting, "Fiery doom to this planet." Then Charon, "Fiery doom." Then Ritsu,
Fiery doom.
Sho ran off, but that won't be a problem.
"How can we proceed without the third pillar?" Then Sister Sumire,
We were only collecting the pillars to awaken their Adolabers.
"So now that we've done that, we don't need them anymore?"
It doesn't matter where the pillars are anymore. There's no escaping Adola now. They will be the links that tie us to Adola. The great cataclysm has already begun.
And then Inca's all like,
Ah, wow. So many people are going to die again. I can't wait. I'm so excited. This is the best.
and then we have Ritsu.
Young Lady Inca, I, Ritsu, will protect you until the day you drop dead.
Unless you die first. This is so much fun. Let's have a contest to see who dies first.
Y'all crazy. These women crazy. And then we have Yona. The time has come. We built the Holy Soul Temple, gathered the pillars, and decoded Pi. The end of this era is near. Preparations for the Great Cataclysm are complete. And you, Haumea, are you ready?
I am. I'm ready.
As it shows Haumea sweating profusely, and then countless unintelligible thoughts fill her mind all of a sudden. And then it shows Haumea holding her head with Charon looking, appearing concerned. And then Haumea goes,
The evangelist is satisfied too.
Then Sumire,
It's been 250 years since last time. Since we failed.
And then Yona. Yes, that's how long it's been since I came to this world. That's how long I've yearned for this day to come. The great Cataclysm failed that day, yet it strengthened this world's link to Adola, allowing me, Yona, to come here with the bugs. As we go back in time and see that Yona is like this very lanky individual. Lanky looking infernal, even. And then we have a citizen there, 250 years ago. What is that thing? And Yona is smiling in his, shadow-darkened visage. Within the limited scope of human knowledge, the best word for me would probably be devil. Devil! This one is useless to me. I must take the place of someone with greater influence and power. And as that person, I will impart this girl to humankind. This girl with the Adola burst, Amaterasu. And we see the original first pillar here at the point where the Great Cataclysm failed. And she's one of the survivors there, just kind of asleep against some rubble. They will use Amaterasu's Adola burst to rebuild civilization and create a pillar linking them to Adola. And we see the thermal plant. I found a caravan made up of survivors of the Great Cataclysm. What are you? It's the caravan's leader. His name is Raffles Smith. Humanity's survivors will start over from zero. You will be their leader. As Yona stabs Raffles. We get his whole name, Raffles Smith. Mr. Smith. He stabs Raffles. He stabs Raffles and essentially it looks like he's assimilating him. I will start a religion. Humans are strange creatures. They are fond of works of fiction. They love novels, movies, comic books, mythology, and religion. They believe it all so easily. They will believe this new religion too, as he essentially just assimilates Raffles the First into himself, and he becomes Raffles. Like, he stabs Raffles, and he starts turning his body into Raffles, and then he absorbs the rest of Raffles into him. Raffles will become the new religion's founder. He will do so by bringing Amaterasu to the people. He was an ordinary man who started a caravan simply because he believed that humanity could rise again. Once an ordinary man who believed civilization could be rebuilt. Soon a religious leader. Like the founders of all religions, he began as an ordinary man spouting nonsense ideas. But the founders of religions are no different from the ignorant and incompetent masses. If there is one thing that sets them apart, it is that they were touched by Adola. That's the only difference. Here is where it begins, fueled by Amaterasu. What should we name our religion? How about if we call it the Holy Soul Temple? People will become fanatical about the Holy Soul Temple, just as they've been with so many religions before. Why? Because humans are fond of fiction. Since that day, I've labored to erect this civilization and prepare it for destruction. And we're back in the present while Yona is explaining everything. And now we're getting brand new faces. We're getting one dude that kind of looks like that scorpion guy from Ruby. We get one white clad who's a small child with a darkened face but light hair. And we got another one that has one of the weirdest haircuts I've ever seen, where it looks like it's on top of his head and sloped out and also curled around him. And then we have Charon. I see that the Great Cataclysm execution specialists have joined us. Then we have Dragon. The Cataclysm squad. A swarm of filthy maggots. And then we have one of them who has a hairstyle that looks like, like the points of a crown. Like, the classic crown where it has the points on top and then it has a little bobble all across the top. No one in this mortal realm is capable of defeating you. No one in this mortal realm is capable of defeating you. The one with the hood reminds you of Orochi. Huh. Maybe? I don't know. I forgot what Orochi looks like. No one in this mortal realm is capable of defeating you.
That is obvious, fairy.
But once we've brought about the Cataclysm, none will be left, including you. No, that's not the right voice for this dude that Dragon calls fairy. So let me see this. No one in this mortal realm is capable of defeating you.
That is obvious, fairy.
But once we've brought about the Cataclysm, no one will be left, including you. And then we have Charon.
Enough chit-chat. Let's do what we came to mass to do.
Then we have Halmia.
All that's left are the final preparations for conjuring you-know-what.
And then we have Sumire. And Halmia.
Sumire! Yes, all right.
And then she breathes in, and then she sends vibrations directly into the ground. With that same old granny look on her face. It just doesn't change at all. And the whole place starts shaking because she's causing this quake. And it can actually be felt throughout all of Tokyo. And there's some citizens who feel this earthquake. Another earthquake? How many is that this month? Have you heard the rumors? People are saying there's going to be another great cataclysm. Stop it. All this SHC and now a great cataclysm? The human race is really done for. Then we have Halmia.
The people above ground are afraid. Let us show them their fiery doom.
And then Sumire, with a very scary, lit up type face, she goes,
Yes, with this next earthquake.
And that's the end of chapter 208. Onwards to 209, Covert Warfare. And we got Captain Obi, who's just incognito while he's watching people go by. And he's just watching everyone minding his own business. But it looks like he's following someone. Because we get this one individual in multiple panels. But we don't see this person's face. And then this person goes into a place called Cafe Ichijiku. Yeah, Cafe Ichijiku. And then he opens up the door. And he sits at a table.
I'll have an iced coffee.
One iced coffee coming up.
And the person he's sitting across and the person he was tailing was Captain Honda!
What's this about, Obi?
Sorry for all the sneaking around, but we're traitors now, so...
Yeah, I know. What do you want?
I imagine that you're aware that a great cataclysm is coming, yes?
And?
Is the military ready for it? I was hoping to hear your Company 2 perspective on how the Imperial Army is dealing with things. Maybe we can help each other.
You came here, knowing the danger, just to ask me that? You weren't afraid that I might rat you out?
And mind you, he's not speaking loudly, he's just speaking softly.
You came here, knowing the danger, just to ask me that? You weren't afraid that I might rat you out?
The danger is precisely why I came myself. As a leader, I should be the one taking the risk.
Fine. I know you, and I know you're a genuine and honest man. That's why your company and your allies are so loyal to you.
The same way with the red-haired pirates and Shanks. Speaking of Shanks, a brand new gameplay video for Shanks dropped for Pirate Warriors. They cooked with him. They cooked with film red Shanks that we're getting in January. I put the clips up in the Pirate Warriors channel in the Discord. They cooked with Shanks. That man looks to be an even bigger issue than base Kaido in the game. If you haven't had the chance to look at Shanks. He's insane. Sending shockwaves that go across the ground and look like they track enemies. I don't know, but they cooked with Shanks. They cooked with Shanks. But going back to this, my apologies. It's just that I love me some good gameplay. I also got Tales of Arise, and I'm going to be messing with that after I'm done with all the Midnight Suns DLC, because it was also on sale. But let me go back.
Fine. I know you, and I know you're a genuine and honest man. That's why your company and your allies are so loyal to you. But the government and the Imperial Army won't change so easily. I know that Captain Burns gave his life to call for unity. Ironically, the army that's meant to protect people can't do anything until people have already been hurt. Orders from my superiors are absolute.
I am fully aware that you cannot disobey your orders. I used to be in the Fire Defense Agency, after all.
Like that means anything. You were stripped of medals twice, both times because you defied orders. Even now you've been marked a traitor.
I do understand your position, Captain Honda. I know you can't help Company 8 openly, but I ask that you and Company 2 prepare yourselves as best you can.
Prepare ourselves? For what, may I ask?
For everything. And then it shows the lady bringing the iced coffee, but, Captain Obi's no longer there, but he did leave some money behind in order to pay for what she brought out. And then Captain Honda looks at her and goes,
"He left. He seemed to be in a hurry."
And then we cut to a lake with some ducks. Wow, some actual, genuine animals. I didn't think there were any left. But it's Lieutenant Pan. Why do I keep saying Pan? Lieutenant Pan, who's feeding the fish. I was going to go see you. I'm surprised you're reaching out to me directly. As it shows, Captain Obi is already there, right there, with Lieutenant Pan.
Company 4 is prepared to give Company 8 our full cooperation. This is an emergency. It's no time to be worried about what our imperial orders are.
It's possible you'll be accused of treason.
Captain Burns gave his life to show us we need to be united. We should honor his last wishes.
And then we see like an image of Captain Hogaway from behind, from, the past.
It was one of Captain Hogaway's regrets too. He hated that fire soldiers couldn't do anything until after a fire had started. But those are the rules. You had your medals stripped twice because you defied orders. Both times you did what you did to save lives. That's the man you are. Whatever you did this time to get labeled a traitor, I'm sure it was again because you put human life first. A fire soldier's mission is to protect people's lives and property. You can count on us.
Thank you, Captain Pan. We'll need the help. Oh, he's Captain now. Okay, we can't call him Lieutenant anymore. It's Captain Pan. Captain Pan is now in charge of Company 2. Yeah, he's in charge of it now. Wow. What a way to get promoted. Kind of reminds me of the way Shunsui got promoted to head captain after Yamamoto died.
Thank you, Captain Pan. We'll need the help.
Feeding time! Line up, Koi! And then it shows Pan blowing into his whistle. And then, because it's also drawing attention to Pan, and the fact that Obi's a traitor, deemed a traitor, it's pretty much drawing attention to him.
Could you not? You'll call attention to me.
Sorry, fire soldiers don't usually sneak around, so yeah. And then we cut to Asakusa, with Captain Obi speaking to everybody. It won't be easy to get help from the Holy Soul Temple, including Company 1 or from Haijima, nor from the army either. Though I'm sure there'll be people like Captain Honda who will help us out privately. And all of Company 8 and everyone else is sitting in this room, Licht included. I spoke with Captain Honda personally. He took my warning seriously.
Were you able to contact Company 4, sir?
Yes, and they promised... Oh wait, sorry, it wasn't Company 2, it was Company 4, because Captain Honda is part of Company... Captain Honda is Company 2. I'm correcting myself before someone else does, sorry. But Company 4 will be helping out Company 8. And Captain Honda of Company 2 is at least aware of the situation.
Were you able to contact Company 4, sir?
Yes, and they promised to help us.
Companies 4, 7, and 8. Frankly, that's still not a lot of manpower. We have no idea what's going to happen during the Cataclysm. We need all the troops we can get.
If we could at least get the Imperial Army involved.
Monkey, can't you ask General Oze? He's your father, after all. He's hated Company 8 and Lieutenant Hinawa ever since I quit the army. If I go to him, he'll just demand I re-enlist.
And Lieutenant Kareem from Company 1 can't help us in these circumstances. I'm not sure who else we can turn to.
And then someone enters into the room. A dark-skinned foot enters into the room, into the panel.
I hope you're not forgetting about me.
And it's Captain Hibana!
I finished my report on the Great Cataclysm and spontaneous human combustion. Of course I didn't
forget about you. And then Licht comes up and swipes away the entire report from Hibana. And he's just drooling at the mouth. And he's just going,
well, my. What? Hey.
Well, it is more helpful for him to look at it than me.
Captain Hibana, you were the first to agree to help Company 8. Thank you for sticking with us despite everything that's happened.
I'm only here to get revenge against Sister Sumire. I'm not doing this for Company 8. But it's not like I hate everyone in Company 8. Isn't that right, Shinra dear?
On behalf of Company 8, thank you.
Is Kusakabe just playing dumb? He's usually quite perceptive.
And then we have Sister Iris.
But, Nesan, I think an older man would make a better match for you than a younger one. Oh, Iris, whatever are you talking about? Like Captain Obi, for example.
Me? Wouldn't that be kind of weird? I'm so much older than she is.
You think so? No one cares about age these days.
Tell that to Leonardo DiCaprio. Actually, I think Leonardo DiCaprio really takes that sentiment to heart when you realize the women he tends to date.
Then what about pairing her with Lieutenant Hinawa? What? Are you sure that's a good idea?
What are you freaking out about?
Hey, stop passing me around like that. And Shinra, I think Tamaki would be a good match. What?
Blech.
Excuse me, Iris. Why are you sticking me with this guy?
I'd rather not be mounted like a cat, thank you. I like girls like you, Sister Iris.
Ew, gross! I'm a sister too, you know. I know, and I really like you too, Shinra.
Too gross.
Because Shinra makes like a heh type face.
Freaking out? Who's freaking out?
Huh.
If it's between me and Iris, I'm still the better match for you.
What? Speaking of too gross.
Sister Iris, stirring up trouble with an angelic smile.
Natural airheads are a frightening breed.
And then something starts to move underground next to Lisa.
Do you Tokyo people ever do anything but fight?
And then something bursts out the ground.
Lucian Mowak!
It's Scop!
A talking mole?
Because, you know, talking animals is not something that the people of Tokyo tend to see every day. But that's the end of chapter 209. Onwards to 210. Advent. And Scop is here.
Scop? Shinra! What are you doing here?
I gotta tell you the ordeal I had getting to Tokyo. First, I had to find my way from the oasis to Xinjiang, but this surviving infernal dog kept hounding me. Then just when I thought I was a goner, inspiration struck. I do my best work underground. As soon as I remembered that, I burrowed straight down. But that blasted dog wouldn't give up. I kept digging my tunnel, and it kept following me.
Because Scop is digging close enough to the surface where the place where he parts the dirt, it allows the dog to just track him down. And it's just easily following him.
I wasn't getting anywhere. In fact, if anybody was losing this fight, it was me. The infernal hound was waiting for me to get tired so it could dig me up and kill me. Talk about a formidable opponent. This was a battle of wills. I could see the outcome. I was digging through the earth, and he was just waiting on it. Obviously, I was going to wear out first. I had to do something. He was going to get me even if I was underground. I was in real trouble. If I was going to fight, I had to do it fast, while I still had the strength. That's when I unleashed the attack I dazzled you with moments ago. Lucian Mowak!
and he completely uppercuts the infernal dog.
Allow me to explain. The Lushan Mowak is a one-hit KO punch achieved by channeling all the energy in my body into the digging power in my right paw and making all my fur stand on end. No one was more surprised than I. I had promised Shinra I would dig 1,000 holes every day. I never imagined that exercise would increase my digging power from 10,000 to 100,000. Sorry. May I interrupt?
And this is Shinra.
Huh?
Your story's really interesting and all, but that's not what we want to know just now.
We asked you what brings you here.
Your story's really interesting and all, but that's not what we want to know just now. We asked you what brings you here.
I wanted to make sure that my voice for Shinra was right where it needed to be, because
Doing a voice like Scott, it can throw me off a little bit.
but we're all good.
What brings me here?
Yes, exactly.
You want to know what brings me here? You ask? So I hope you're prepared to be amazed. After eating my Lushan Mowak, the infernal hound clambered back onto his feet and looked at me. The Lushan Mowak had won me not only the battle, but also his friendship. He put me on his back and ran straight for Xing Qing Dao. You ask what brings me here? I was brought here by an infernal dog.
And then Shinra's all like,
Another story again.
he has the most dour-looking face.
No matter the cost, I had to get to Xing Qing Dao and board a ship to Tokyo. Due to the infernal speed, I arrived safely in Xing Qing Dao in no time, but that also meant bidding farewell to my new friend. There was no time to grieve. I forced back my tears and climbed into a box of Noto brand potatoes before they loaded it onto a boat for Tokyo. It was packed so full, I was forced to eat a few to make room. Forgive me, Juggernaut. I had to for the mission. The passage went smoothly. By the time I arrived in Tokyo, I had successfully polished off the entire box. Forgive me, Juggernaut.
And then it shows a man looking in the box where Scop was, and he's all like,
Dang nabbit, a rat got into this box.
A rat? How rude! I had heard that Tokyo was full of cold-hearted jerks. Now here was one before my eyes! Me? A rat? Of all things, why a rat? It was unforgivable. Why must he think that my crime was committed by the likes of a rat? Utterly unforgivable. How could he possibly mistake me for a rat?
and he's thinking this, and he sees just that all the potatoes he ate made him incredibly fat in an enormous amount of time, in a short amount of time.
When I looked in the mirror, what I saw was neither mole nor rat. It was potato.
And then we get back to the present where Arthur just kicks Scop. Neo Knight shot!
What was that for?
Well done, Arthur. It was a little heavy-handed, but I'm glad you stopped him.
You can't go around eating other people's potatoes without asking them!
He's right, Mr. Mole. Let him.
That's what you got upset about?
I read about this in the Xing Qing Dao report, but I guess there really is a talking mole.
Because this is the first time that Hinawa, Captain Obi, and Hibana are ever seeing of a talking animal in general.
I figured they just hallucinated it from being hopped up on the subterranean gases.
Gah! Give me that mole! Scop, you came to Tokyo for a reason. What is it?
Oh, right! Shinra, the woman in black gave me her last words, and I've come to tell them to you. It's about the coming great cataclysm!
And then Scop is sitting on a little pillow while everyone in the room is all at attention.
I see how it is. You didn't listen to my heroic exploits, but now you're all ears.
Just talk.
So you want to know about the great cataclysm? Fine. That is why I'm here after all. The woman in black said the great cataclysm is just around the corner. And unlike last time, they have all the pillars and pie. The numbers we saw on Xing Qing Dao were pie, and according to Captain Hibana's report, the pillars in the convent basement are arranged in a circle too. Are you saying these two facts are indeed relevant to the start of another cataclysm? She said that one of the reasons the last cataclysm failed is that they hadn't decoded pi. That's why the evangelists imparted some wisdom to humanity, to help it raise its cultural level, so it could eventually decode pi.
Then we have Vulcan.
I had a thought about that too. My ancestors created Amaterasu and left a key. This is just a theory, but if Amaterasu and pi are connected, then maybe the key they left was the secret to decoding pi.
I see. So they couldn't decode pi last time. But this time, Vulcan's ancestor did it for them.
And then Hibana.
Which means they have everything they need to start the next cataclysm. Our world will unite with the Dola, and the planet will be burned to cinders.
And then Tamaki.
So, what is a Dola? Why would uniting with it burn up our planet?
When we investigated the Chinese peninsula, we saw the scar from the last cataclysm. A tear, but like a warp in space. No one has gone to the other side and returned to tell about it. What's really on the other side of that fissure? It could be a Dola.
Then Licht.
Since no one has actually been there, all we can do is guess based on the abnormalities we saw before. The altered landscape, and talking animals, like you.
I don't know about a Dola or why we exist, but I did sense something near Tokyo that felt like being near the tear. I burrowed around to see what I could learn about Tokyo. Then I felt a weird energy flowing underground, so I followed it.
Huh?
I found her in an underground room with pillars and a freaky old lady.
Wow. So Scop, that's what he's talking about. So my thing is that Scop was just in the room when Sister Sumire revealed herself, and everything about SHC and Adola and what the Great Cataclysm actually is and what it's going to be doing, Scop being there was just no mere coincidence.
I found her in an underground room with pillars and a freaky old lady.
As he points towards Hibana.
That weird energy you felt in the recent uptick in mysterious earthquakes. They might both be caused by Sister Sumire. Those goons are planning to start something with those earthquakes?
And then there's another earthquake that can be felt all around.
Another earthquake,
Inawa. It's a big one. Obi.
There it is again! This shaking is not natural!
And it shows the waves, the very water itself, the waves, tossing and turning. And we have people near their boats on the coast. The sea's getting rough. Be careful.
Hey,
look.
Whoa! What is that? What the blazes is going on?
As we see a gigantic, in a big double spread panel, off the coast in the distance, we see a gigantic pillar rise into the air. And then we have another boat that's on the water as another pillar rises up. And one dude is looking at it as he's going,
What is that thing?
And then we have news reports.
A mysterious large pillar appeared today in the waters off the Pacific coast, estimated to be around 500 meters high. The pillar is currently being investigated by,
and all of Company 8 and everyone is listening to this news. We also get Benimaru and Joker listening in. Then Benimaru.
Looks like things are starting to get hairy. We'd better hurry, otherwise the white-clad cult is gonna get exactly what they want.
Then Licht.
a giant pillar.
Hibana.
But I saw more than one pillar at the convent. This won't be the end of it. We should see 7 more. And when all 8 pillars emerge, the Great Cataclysm will have finally begun.
And then we have more breaking news.
Breaking news! Our team on site has just informed us that, at the base of the pillar off the eastern coast, an enormous infernal has emerged!
And we see an infernal coming up out of the ocean itself. And if this perspective is right, this thing is gigantic. Like, it's bigger than the giant infernal that Nataku was a part of. That's how big it is. Well, no, it's actually bigger than that.
Run! It's coming this way!
What is that thing?
That's an infernal?
Oh no, if that infernal reaches shore, the damages are going to be immense.
Captain Obi, I can get to the pillar before the infernal reaches land, and I'm the only one who can fight over water. Permission to go to battle, sir!
And that And then we just see Shinra immediately flying off into the air with Scop in tow.
You gotta stop that thing, Shinra! And remember, you can't attack the pillar! If you do, it might very well wipe out Tokyo!
We're counting on you, Shinra. Looks like that one Infernal from the first opening. I gotta watch the openings. I haven't done that yet since the last time we talked. We're counting on you, Shinra. We're still wanted criminals. We should probably stay put. And then it shows the pillar off the coast. And Company 2 making their way towards where this pillar is. And this, from this perspective, this Infernal is gigantic. Like colossal Titan gigantic. But Company 2 is getting out of their matchboxes. All soldiers, to your posts! Then we have Captain Honda. Anti-Sea Craft Interceptor Formation. If we wait to intercept it, it'll be too late. Open fire now! And then someone goes, I'm sorry I'm late. I don't blame you. You're still getting used to that leg. Direct support artilleryman in position! As we get Juggernaut, who's willingly... Okay, so Juggernaut has a prosthetic cannon. This man, Juggernaut, got a cannon! He got a cannon! It's Juggernaut! This man, Juggernaut, got a cannon. He's got a prosthetic leg, but he's got a cannon for an arm now. Direct support artilleryman in position! And then we have someone walking up. Look at all those big buff guys. If Company 2 was coming, you didn't need me here. As it's Kurono! And someone else is with them. That's the kind of giant unstoppable sea creature for you see in kaiju flicks. I don't fight those things. What are you talking about? This is the perfect job for a corporate warrior like you. Department Chief Oguro, you higher-ups are always using your faulty logic to make your employees do all the dirty work. Faulty logic? In order to defend your country is faulty logic? What I like to do is pick on the weak. To me, any logic that suggests I fight a strong opponent is faulty. But I'll do it. If that thing makes it to land, my beloved stupid weaklings are going to be the first ones to go. Thanks. I don't have any powers. I only risk my life to come here because you won't take orders from anyone but me or President Aijima. One day I'll be promoted and won't be taking orders from you either. That's the spirit, Kurono. But by the time you're promoted, I'll be on the board. Then we get this colossal Infernal making its way closer to the shore. It's big. Too big. That's an Infernal? It's way bigger than the report said. Our small arms won't even phase it. Goes Captain Honda. Are you ready? Perfectly ready, sir. You've gotten stronger. I can't wait around for someone else to do things for me. If I don't stand up and fight myself, I'll lose everything I care about. Locking on target. And then it shows Juggernaut aiming at this Infernal. Setting anti-recoil anchor. Fire! And then it shows Juggernaut firing his cannon directly at the Infernal. But Shinra gets in front of the blast and goes, Don't do it! Much to the surprise of Juggernaut. And Shinra gets caught in the blast. Shinra gets caught in the blast. Shinra! And he falls directly into the ocean as the Infernal gets closer. How you gonna end the chapter with Shinra getting one-shot by Juggernaut? How you just gonna end the chapter with Shinra going like, Don't do it! And he immediately gets like, I'm a fire in my laser! I gave myself the hiccups doing that. I'm not doing that again. But that's the end of chapter 210. No, wait, 211. Onwards to 212. Cooperation. And Shinra just falls in the water. Shinra! Why did you get in my line of fire? And then it shows Scop on Juggernaut. Huh? Is that you, Scop? What are you doing here? You can't destroy the pillars. Shinra was saving it from you. Never mind that. Never mind that. We have to save Shinra. Whoa! What are you gonna do?
What are you doing, Juggernaut? With all your gear, you'll sink to the bottom of the sea!
But sir! And then someone goes running towards the ocean, and it's Kurono who immediately dives in. And he immediately dives after Shinra.
It's so much fun to watch people drown. Why should I have to go save him?
Kurono will rescue Kusakabe. As long as you can get him to take orders, he's the most capable employee there is.
And it shows Kurono getting to Shinra, who's, unconscious, and he grabs him and he starts to take him to the surface again.
He's totally unconscious. If I leave him, he'll die. Ah, Shinra, you're still weak. I'm so proud.
And then Kurono gets to the surface just in time to see the Infernal looming directly over him. Like I said, this Infernal is massive. His shadow takes up more of the next panel where Kurono's looking up at him more than anything else.
There's nothing cute about being big and tough, you know.
And then the whole area where he is gets upheavaled as it looks like this Infernal swipes at him, and they both get swept up in the water.
Where's Shinra? I have to help or they'll both die. Fine, but don't attack the pillar. Why not? That pillar is plugging an undersea volcano!
What? An undersea volcano?
If you destroy the pillar, the volcano will start spewing magma. Tokyo will be done for.
The pillars are plugging volcanoes? The Great Cataclysm is what Zephyr was going to do to the new world with the Dynastones in Film Z. That just popped into my head.
If you destroy the pillar, the volcano will start spewing magma. Tokyo will be done for.
And then it has Kurono.
I'm not going to make it at this rate. Time to lose the excess baggage.
Kurono! Ditch Kusakabe and I'll be docking your pay.
My summer bonus. Demotion. I don't want that.
So he just continues to hold on to Shinra as this Infernal's clawed hand swipes them deep underwater again. And they're far underwater.
But it's not worth my life. Maybe I should drop him after all.
And then something appears to hit the Infernal. Now, mind you, we can only see from Kurono's eyes from underwater, so the image of this Infernal from underwater is kind of like wavy and distorted, because that's how water works. But something appears to hit this Infernal, much to Kurono's surprise. And it's Juggernaut!
Good, Juggernaut! Great!
If I used a curved trajectory from this shot, and he fires more from his cannon, which sends even more shots towards the Infernal and hits this Infernal in the back of the head. And then we have Oguro, who's looking at Kurono, who still has Kusakabe.
Where's Kusakabe? You didn't ditch him, did you?
He's right here, sir.
You could at least
give me a hand up.
I get my suit wet.
I hope nothing bad happens to this guy.
It's not over yet. You haven't even started your real job.
I know that, sir. They hit it hard and it didn't even twitch. There's no way I can take it out.
Then you want to fight me?
Of course not, sir.
As Kurono starts making smoke in his hands, and then he launches himself at the Infernal.
Well, we don't have to worry about that anymore. And I get to turn him in. That's an unexpected bonus.
Because remember, all of Company 8 have been deemed traitors. Just because Kurono's here does not mean he's on their side. And now that Shinra's there, he's a person to be turned in.
And I get to turn him in. That's an unexpected bonus.
What do you think you're doing? He's a fire soldier. Company 2 in the army will be taking him into custody.
But it was Hajima that got him to safety first.
You think a corporation can interfere with military business?
And then someone apparently walks up saying, "Actually, we will be taking him." Huh?
Who are you?
Oh, it's the execution squad! And it's Ferry! He's there, and he's right there in between Oguro and Captain Honda, and he's just levitating upside down in between them.
Who are you? And how are you doing that?
Oh, wait, and since this is Ferry, I can say, like, "Actually, we'll be taking him."
Who are you? And how are you doing that?
From where I stand, you are on the ceiling.
And that's the end of chapter 212, onwards to 213, Mid-Air Battle. And I think that's actually the last chapter for this volume. Hold on. Is it? It is. This is the last chapter of the volume. Chapter 213, Mid-Air Battle. And Ferry's just above him. And then, all of a sudden, Shinra starts levitating off the ground towards Ferry. And much to Ogoro's surprise, he starts levitating in the air as well. Kurono! And then Kurono, who's flying in the air towards the Infernal, sees him and goes, "Perfect. That's one less boss I have to take orders from."
I've already made arrangements to make sure you're held responsible if anything happens to me out here today.
I don't like Oguro. I don't like him already. And Kurono makes his smoke fly over to him in order to save him. "With precautions like that, you must know your employees hate you."
Earning employees' love is not part of my job. You got soot on my suit. This is going on your performance review.
"Why? I saved your life."
Talk back and I'll lower your rating by 2 degrees. Now go fetch Kusakabe.
"As you say, sir. Where is he?" And it shows Ferry flying off with Shinra. "If I save him from all the way up there, will you reconsider my performance review?"
I don't negotiate with employees. Now go get him.
"It's the Army's job to protect the civilians, right? Make sure nothing happens to my department chief."
Urgh. Corporal, you're his new bodyguard.
"Yes, sir!"
What's Hajima's top brass doing here anyway?
"Is he famous?"
He's scary good at his job.
I'm pretty sure he's the young executive who climbed the corporate ladder faster than anyone in Hajime history. Department Chief Oguro. As a human being, they don't come any worse, and he has zero charisma. But he always gets results, and they're better than perfect. No one could protest his rise to the top. The younger employees at Hajime all say if you follow him, you can't go wrong.
I'm here to make sure you don't make any wrong choices. Obey me."
"Yes, I know why you're here, sir." And then it just shows a massive explosion happen while Kurono's protecting both himself and Oguro with his smoke. Then it dissipates because this was a massive breath of fire. Because what I thought was a normal face for this Infernal was actually a removable faceplate that just has a giant mouth for firing on it. The whole head is a mouth to breathe fire. The faceplate isn't even the face. It literally moves back like an Iron Man helmet and then just fires. What are these Infernals?
Wow, it breathed fire.
Are you okay, Scop? That came from its mouth. If that Infernal makes it to Tokyo...
Damage report, now! 8 buildings have caught fire. 10 Company 2 soldiers are injured. Civilians have been evacuated, but some have been injured. And it's so much destruction as Ferry is floating in the air.
Go on, stop the Titan. The time has come. Humans have the power to do it.
I'm changing your assignment. Kill the giant. That's your top priority.
Go, Juggernaut! Get him before he gets any closer!
And then Juggernaut is steadily firing at this giant Infernal.
It's working! Come on, keep shooting!
The ceremony cannot proceed until the Titan has been defeated. They'll need more firepower than that.
And then something goes flying in the air towards Fairy, which he dodges away from.
Was that?
And then it shows multiple things flying straight towards Fairy, and someone is firing it. But Fairy keeps dodging.
Impossible. She's a much better shot than that.
Where are you aiming, amateur?
As it shows, someone is running on top of these arrows, and it's Sho! It's Sho! So it's Arrow and Sho, and they've shown up.
Where are you aiming, amateur?
No, she was entirely on the mark. Third pillar.
As Sho launches at Fairy, but Fairy points his hand towards Sho, and Sho gets launched back with extreme force.
Now fall!
And then Arrow is shown aiming towards them, shoots another arrow that Sho lands on top of, and then proceeds to jump straight towards Fairy again. And then he takes his sword out. Sorry I'm late to the stream, you're sick. Yoda, I'm so sorry to hear that. So sorry to hear that. You've actually showed up right when I'm about to finish the final chapter of Volume 24. I hope you feel better, get some rest, as much rest as you need to, drink plenty of fluids, and just take it easy today. I pray that you get better soon. But Sho launches off of these solid arrows that Arrow has been shooting towards Fairy, and he draws his sword, and he stabs towards Fairy's neck, but it doesn't even look like the sword does anything. And then Fairy's just looking at him and proceeds to launch Sho high into the air. And then it shows Fairy while he's also airborne, holding on to Shinra and also launching Sho.
This wouldn't have happened if I had been guarding you. Now you can fall into the atmosphere.
And then it shows Sho looking down at Fairy. Then Arrow shoots an arrow straight up, and then it curves on its way back down, and Sho uses it as a foothold.
Even without the Evangelist's grace.
And it shows Sho disappear from off of this arrow. And then he cuts straight through Fairy. Even without the Evangelist's grace. And he cuts straight through Fairy because he used his own powers to stop time, slice through Fairy, and the last we get of Sho is him having a slight smile on his face. To be continued in Volume 25. We got that usual comic at the end. And this is the first time we don't have a translator note. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been part 24, Volume 24 of my Fire Force series. We'll continue tomorrow after I'm done with the beginning after the end Jasmine chapter, with Volume 25. The events of the Great Cataclysm are beginning. Pillars are being raised across the world, with the first one appearing on the outskirts of Tokyo. And now we have Sho fighting to save Shinra. And it looks like he's just sliced through Fairy in one go. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens next. That's all I got for you guys today. We actually went through this in a very fast amount of time. And I just want to say thank you for all of your patience while, I've been doing this series, and also for just in general enjoying everything I've been doing for you guys for this channel. I just can't wait to continue on with this series. Because, oh my goodness, it's such a wonderful time to be a YouTuber. I can't wait to see, and y'all are hyping it up. The next volume is very interesting, I'll tell you that much. And then Shobotai, the next volume is going to definitely break you out in a cold and hot sweat. I don't think you're ready. Okay. Y'all hyping up the next volume, which we gonna hit tomorrow. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. To everyone here from Halster, Shobotai, Yoda, continue to get your rest in. Everyone who showed up today, whether you're a regular or if you're new to this channel for the very first time, and this is the first time you've ever experienced my method of reading stories to all of you, all I can say to you is hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Can I say that we are only just one person away from being a 4.6K channel. Can I just say that? The fact that I could be reaching, that I'll be reaching 4.6K before the end of this year, that's immense to me. And I am so thankful for all of you for that. But hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Like, comment, subscribe, even become a member, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day. And once again, as always, later, peoples!